Hello, everyone, and welcome to the TAG ENV Sustainability APAC meeting. This is a bi-weekly meeting, and today is 25th of June that we are doing the meeting. So we just change this 25th. And I'm your host, Sayam Barak, and this meeting is subject to CNCF Code of Conduct, which simply means be nice to each other. Uh, so before getting out of the projects, um, I would like to give you an update on the meeting that happened on 19th of June, which was the the global tag sustainability meeting. So I only hosted that, and there was so the less attendance issue was also there. Maybe it's a couple of reasons. One was that it was a US holiday. Another was there was a calendar glitch that happened, and Leo and a couple of others fixed it now because it was going as bi-weekly, but the fifth week coming in a month changed the whole scenario and the game. So that's where Leo kind of changed the meetings to make sure it is the right times. And yeah, so this meeting held 19th of June. So mainly it was a working group updates that happened. So the sustainability track is something we won't be getting for KubeCon North America, but we'll be trying it for KubeCon EU next year. And then we need a second comms chair. So if anyone wants to kind of get into that, that is something that the working group comms need. And also we need to prepare a tag talk for KubeCon plus a booth. So these two were the things that I mentioned last time as well during the meeting. It was noted that these two things are on a to-do kind of list. For the working group reviews, the PR is in progress. I think this one is closed, but there was a new one, if I remember. I think today only it got looked good to me, or it got merged as well. Yeah, I think it got, let me see. Yeah, I think this was the one. So a couple of work going over there was like there was a back and forth going on discussion how to write the automation, like to do it in Bash, to do it in Go, and things like that. So a couple of things going on over there. And then they also need more folks in the working group greens, specifically the technical folks who can do the automations, write those CI GitHub actions and stuff like that. So those are some of the things where they need inputs as well. The best practices for environment sustainability. So I was there in this meeting as well. This happened on 12th June. So Leo, and the two people who created this project was also there. But again, the one issue which is constant across all the meetings, since we have a lot of projects, is less number of attendees, and how, I mean, everyone is trying to figure out how we can increase that, maybe with more social posts, and some kind of encouragement and things like that, how we can increase the engagement, because I think few of them are really technical, like the green reviews, the best practices for sustainability in the KATS ecosystem. These are like really technical stuff. So we would like to, how we can engage the Kubernetes audience, the technical audience to kind of work on this is something we were discussing because it also didn't get any new attendees. Green Scraper async update. The progress is again a bit slower in the 2 weeks, but we have made changes to the tool to create PRs and changes instead of pushing directly to the master. Plan is to keep working on the active tasks, and everyone is welcome to contribute. Sustainability week is the announcement is done, and website changes. Is it done or yeah?
Yeah,
So this is for the
there was
24. Yes.
yeah, there was like also a meeting yesterday about the Cloud Native Sustainability Week. So we will let's remember what we talked about. So for the Sustainability Week, we will have a GitHub issue for every location that would like to organize a meetup so we can track of the progress. So there will be also like, have you found a sponsor? There will be like a checkbox. So it's like easier for the organizers to have like an overview, like where's every meetup right now. Then we are reaching out to Audra and some of the CNCF to identify which community groups are currently very active. And then we kind of try to map this against regions where we would like to have an event, but do not have a sponsor or like an organizer yet. So that we try to cover as much as possible. And then we are working on rewriting the guide, the organizer guide. So if we reach out to somebody who may be interested, we can just forward like a 2-pager. Yeah, exactly. So we need to rework this document so it's just a bit easier and it's maybe just like 1 page or 2 pages. So we can forward this document, people can read it, can look at the website, and then they can decide, do I want to join or not? So they have like all the important information. And then we reach out probably next week to a bunch of organizers, depending like on the list of active communities. And after we figured out, okay, where are like organizers that we could contact. And yeah, it's until next week.
Thank you for the update. Leo, one thing, can we also have this meetup organizer 2-pager on GitHub somewhere? Because people
Yeah,
in
sure. Yeah.
China
I mean, we
won't be.
could even add this to the website, I guess. We
Yeah,
can
yep,
like,
that would be even better.
so last time we had like a drop down. No, not a drop down. We had like at the page at the top. Right now we have like events and glossary and landscape. So
Okay.
potentially we could remove glossary or move it to about or something and then just put like Cloud Native Sustainability Week or something similar. So people find it first. And then we could add to this page maybe like 2 subpages or something. So like organizer guides, events overview or something like this.
Yeah.
Uh, for those, so in China, uh, honestly, in China, so first of all, this year, first of October, unfortunately, is our national holiday. Vacation is long to a week long, so obviously this year we need the reschedule in China to avoid to avoid conflicts with local holiday. And I discussed with Red Hat and Inter members people, but we not decided how to run meetups this year yet. In China, if we go to run a CNCF meetup, Linux Foundation member locally, they based on at Hong Kong, APAC. Leo, if you remember the case, I mentioned him to you
Yeah.
last year. will help us to organize the sessions. They will send an ambassador and to monitor if all the approaches following the CNCF meetup guidelines. But well, usually the uh, usually for some for example CNCF logo usage, and if we run CFP and host the events, if any budget call our community cost there, but email we nearly don't have any budget or cost from communities, so just check everything on track, and it is a CNCF meetup, not some companies meetup. That's in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
So if so if the document is just general guidance for host meetup CF session, so we can, well, instead of that we can ask a local Linux Foundation member for.
Yeah. Yeah, so the document will be probably for you not so interesting because we do not change the event that much. So it's basically for people that have not organized last year a bunch of information. So yeah, and also like last year, if it's not possible because of national holidays or something similar, it's also okay to organize the event a week or 2 weeks later. It's better to organize an event and talk about cloud native sustainability than not organizing an event at the end. So
Yeah, it's okay. So, but well, in China to host the meetup, I'm still need to looking for uh s- other CNCF members, and you know, some ask general the location, and uh well, unfortunately for some food, maybe
yeah,
just some cookie. Yeah, I need to find some sponsor. But well, in my, I would say personally, I hope we can organize it maybe before December, maybe in November, or maybe September. It depends. So if I can find some sponsor, uh, or other people's may interest with this event to help us co-host this event this year, maybe we can make it September, yeah, before our holiday. Currently my plan is that Aspon just contribute a great blog with Kepler and our well our SCI. I mean the new software carbon intensity matrix, which is now I suppose is the ISO matrix and standard for now. So maybe with those blog, and we also post a blog call for co-host and volunteer to run the CNCF sustainable meetup locally. But
mm,
maybe we can merge the PR first, and I will discuss with Red Hat and Inter co-host later. And if we made a decision, so we can post the two blogs at local social media once time, and people can say, "Whoa, there's a new ISO standard with a matrix and the blog how Kepler make it, and well, your guys call for a sponsor for the event, and maybe someone may interested, and together with us, join with us to host it. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope like if we open up an issue for every meetup that we can have like a place of contact. So if you need help with finding a sponsor, we can just send the issue maybe to some to the ambassador channel or some other channels, and maybe somebody knows something and then they have this point of contact to support. Because without this, it's a bit difficult to understand like where is every meetup standing and where do you need, or where do you need maybe potentially support, or is it just a matter of time? And I think also the same thing about blog posts. I don't think we already have an issue open to track it. But if people are already thinking about, okay, we can write blog posts about how Kepler implements the SCI, for example, or something like this, be good to track it. Yeah. I mean, this year, like the idea is also that Nancy and Julie and others are kind of taking the lead. But yeah, maybe we need to support a bit more on this side.
Yeah, I think for now you can just create an issue, maybe for whatever you mentioned, SCI or Kepler, and
It already done. It's a translation for Pulse blog, so I already opened the PR. Yeah, I already have the PR there.
okay.
Yeah, so I suppose just I will maybe once this PR been merged, I will try to start a discussion locally with the co-host Xiaoju and Ken from Inter, Jiaju from Red Hat. Locally, we will have a offline discussion and post some call for volunteer blog, just approved, I suppose approved by local Linux Foundation member. In Chinese, that maybe will be good, as the audience is targeting to local people. So obviously, maybe you just need a Chinese version. So and let's see what happened. Yeah. So first, maybe just reveal the content for the translation, and if the blog is good, so we will have a session to make decision to see if we have how we going to organize a small meetup in China this year. Yeah.
For the projects, I think this one there was something which was discussed during the meeting as well. Project outline will be edited. Annual report, Leo will open the issue this week and link to the working document.
Yeah, so I still have to open the issue. Yeah, it's something that we discussed a couple of weeks ago, that we would like to turn this the landscape document, which we also have on the website, into like an annual report, which we publish end of the year or mid of the year. I don't know. We will see.
So anything from here, like anything can we add to this, because this is what we discussed last time. So link already exists. This is the new iteration will look. Yeah, that is fine. That is fine. So this is done, right? This one.
Yeah, there's nothing new.
Green scraper update given. And I think we are pausing this for now.
Yes,
This is
pausing this one. Yes, yeah.
okay. Planned presentation. So I think Sam mentioned interesting things that I want to kind of present. We made an integration between,
Yeah, you can help me share the screen. So
yeah,
the
I'll
idea,
let you share the
uh,
screen.
I think that the major, or say I want to go through that just figure here. Oops.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. I
yeah,
thought,
there's just a single figure we can quickly go through.
oh,
That
sorry.
will, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this,
just this. Yeah, this one will be good.
okay.
So as I mentioned in earlier this year in CNCF Tag, and also as a key point to capital community this year, we are going to uh, verification the accuracy for project capture, and we want to make it or say implement that by pipeline so that each capture release we can have a pipeline to do the verification for the accuracies. Yeah, because of that. So as and also as major CI maintainer for Kepler, uh, one of those people. So my point of view is that we need to reuse current Kepler CS infrastructure and make it flexible enough for people. And so I just have this kind of group chart and or say box chart. So the first of all is obviously when we're talking about sustainable computing, so we need to consider with different hardware, the difference between hardware, right? And we can start with Kubernetes, and those Kubernetes can be set up by any kind of environmental, maybe AWS or Equinix, or self-host Kubernetes. So, and next, consider for GitHub ops. So we will start with a kube config. So we go to the middle of the box there. So based on the kube config, which means we can use any kind of CI reference that kube config to operate the Kubernetes cluster, right? We're going to make a standard GitHub action. Currently, the Kepler action there, which it will help install some basic things. So currently, it's Prometheus Tecton and Quart for Project Kepler, but currently for our current status of validations, it seems we just rely on the Prometheus. But for model training, we rely on the Tecton. And then, just prepare for the basic Kubernetes-based cloud native environment to measure your power consumption for workload. So a stress test should be run for your workload, and we collect the metrics from Prometheus and Kepler, then generate some metrics, for example, SCI there. So I suppose that because the Kubernetes environment, maybe we can have a community version action to create that from the Equinix, our AWS and Azure, or some community maybe have their own Kubernetes, so it's just a Kubernetes cluster. And but for the second level infrastructure, so Prometheus, Tecton, and the KubeVirt can be shared if based on your cases. So some cases, so first of all, no matter what kind of cases, we need a Prometheus to collect the data and calculate for the SCI. So Prometheus is necessary, and and then power consumption measurement tooling as Kepler is mandatory, right? So next, I want to use Tecton because in that case, if people don't want to run Kepler action, so someone can use the Tecton to organize their own jobs. Right, so the Tecton, I hope the Tecton can be used for organize performance test and metric collection and SCI generation. So the collection for the metrics and the generation for SCI can be reused because we can specify a container name or pod name, and then the other step, the following step can be same, just the difference with stress generation, maybe for web application is 3 meter, and for other kind of application we can change. Maybe if and some VM support if people want to test the difference between running inside VM or others. So here I posted this proposal in our tag and to see if anyone interested with this and how Kepler community can working together with tag. Yeah, currently we tried and well, lots of shell and Ansible scripts there, and the parts need to be enhancement in my point of view, at least all of them, and we can, well, maybe after coming back from holiday, his vacation, we can have a discussion and try to currently this repo like a POC repo in my point of view. So maybe we can decouple some code and better organize it.
Yeah, this looks very similar to the working group green reviews, right? This is like kind of more or less
Yes.
exactly the idea or like the goal. I mean, the green reviews working group also eventually would like to include this data into some of the dashboards of the CNCF about like project health and so on, and also funnel the information back to the maintainers of these projects. But I think from my understanding of the plan, it's very similar. So I think
So so here I think the community we have very similar plans. So I want to know how should we influence a collaboration, maybe in the same tag, same repo or same tag, so everyone working on the same GitHub repository. We list all the issues together and do the implementation. So to avoid duplication of works and
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, this is very similar to what you just mentioned in the diagram, because if you see, like, get the cube config, then the trigger, and then the Equinix metal is already there. So I think, I mean, it's almost very similar to what you mentioned in the diagram as well. So you have the namespace, you have Kepler, Grafana, Kepler YAML, the Cube Prometheus stack. So all the applications
Yeah.
that you would be installed. So very similar.
Yeah, so in my point of view, maybe we can reduce those duplicates and Because in my point of view, if we have a general framework, so for Kepler, when we test Kepler itself, we just implement for our own stress test framework and verification scripts there. So for other kind of projects, they just inputs for their own, but additionally deploy a Kepler there. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Like, how can Leo this chat be initiated in both the groups? Because I think the effort is going, like, both the teams are working towards achieving similar kind, and if worked collaboratively, things can move a lot faster.
Yes, yes, yes. I
And
think
also they don't have to do it in a different way. Like, we all can adapt to a same pattern, different projects.
yes, I think so. The Green Reviews working group has kind of like a path forward right now. So they defined like the upcoming goals and milestones. It's basically deploying first, so the interaction, pulling the binaries and so on. This is like also the pipeline stuff, which basically is probably very similar to the one that we would build, or you would we would build for the Kepler team. And then executing the benchmarking. I think there's like a lot of overlap. The goal of the Green Reviews working group is not really to create like a product. It's more to assess, have like automation in place to assess the energy consumption of the CNCF projects. So others could look at the platform and see, okay, they get inspired, but it's not like we are not creating like a template workflow for GitHub Actions or other CI tools. But because like in the charters of the tag, it basically mentions that we are not about creating new projects. It's basically about connecting the community and then maybe also adding like some tooling around this. So this is like the some tooling part. But maybe it would make sense at this point because there were also a bunch of questions last KubeCon during the maintainer talk and afterwards about the Green Reviews working group and if like companies could use like some kind of workflow to test their own software. So I guess from this point of view, there's definitely like the interest from companies to have like some kind of workflow.
Yeah, so in my personal view for that question, so at company level, maybe they have two choices. So first is reuse. For example, they maybe take Istio as another CNCF project as an example, right? They can maybe just fork the Istio and apply the Istio with some their own features for enterprise version, right? And maybe reuse GitHub, our existing GitHub pipeline to test and generate some report, right? So this is uh, one of the plan. And the second plan is that also like Istio, maybe they also have their own enterprise version, but they don't want to use GitHub as trigger to their pipeline, so they can have their own Kubernetes with Prometheus, etc. being deployed and just start with the Tecton part. So I suppose that we should give the flexible, or say enough flexible. I know it means very hard for us, and because the flexible supporting extend our scope and the quality of code in to make it happen. So which means for company reusable, so they can start with any different kind of level, either GitOps or Tecton, or maybe they have a cluster and make the just use Kepler's, because in Kepler we influence Kepler's action in two parts. One part is Kepler action as a trigger, and yeah, or say adapter with GitHub ops as because it's GitHub action, and it also has a cluster repo there to set up cluster or config cluster with Prometheus and Grafana, etc., etc. So and some cases we allow a company to set up their own Kubernetes cluster and just run a single command from zero to configure their own Kubernetes cluster. Then they can start with the Tecton part to running with their own CI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I I think because the Green Reviews Working Group has kind of the plan of moving forward is kind of figured out. So they're like, everybody's on the same page. So we know kind of well like what are our goals and approach forward and so on. And I think like this sounds very similar. So it may be the case that we could sort of remove some parts of the Green Reviews steps and move it towards like Kepler CI, because it's basically we can just work on like some kind of product which can be reused, and then we can reuse it in the platform that the Green Reviews Working Group is working on. But I think first it would make sense to have maybe a bit more clarity about the goals of the Kepler CI. So basically what you were talking about, but just like kind of like in a written form, so you can kind of see better like the integration point. So
Yeah.
there's benchmarking
So
done on the Green Reviews side, but and there's also benchmarking done on the other side. So where where are the integration points? So what can we kind of remove, which is specific from the Green Reviews platform? Probably there's a lot at the end, I guess, but it would be better to know so we can then sort of merge on some efforts. Um, yeah.
yeah, or maybe another option is that for Kepler to reuse Green Review Group, so
Or
that
yeah,
yeah. Anyway, let's see.
exactly. Yeah, that would be good. So some kind of like having the goals and the like the requirements for example, like also enabling other tools, not just GitHub Actions, but also Tecton and some other CI platforms. This is something, for example, for the Green Reviews Working Group, which does not really play a role because we don't plan it. But yeah, this, for example, could be interesting distinction between the both things. I don't know if it actually makes like, yeah, but I think like a listing all of the requirements and goals, that would be kind of good. And then talking with the leads from the working group about it and what they think, how we can collaborate together. At the end, I think this makes a lot of sense. So this is very nice.
Yeah, so maybe I will take a look at Green Review Group 2 pipeline. Maybe try to use Kepler or currently Kepler action to make a integration on the same pipeline there. And once maybe we can, I hope Kepler action can, start with just to help people to uh, configure the Kubernetes from once Kubernetes been cluster been start up and Kepler action can start with Kubernetes configuration works, and secondly, take my collection for metrics and calculation for SCI zeros, maybe as to features that Kepler action provided, or say Green Review tools action provided, and so we have maybe 2 or 3 projects. One is adopter with GitHub action, and the other 2 repos, one for Kubernetes config and one for collection metrics and do the calculation works. And how the project have their own deployment and for example, their performance or say stress test, we deliver or say we move that kind of dependency back to the project owner for themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. I think talking with the Green Reviews leads and what they think about this, and then kind of getting like the goals written down of the Kepler CI, and then aligning this with the plan of the Green Reviews working group, and then we can merge efforts. And I think that would be great. There's also like I can find the issue. So there's like one tracking issue for the next quarter or something, where we have basically it's split into setting up the integration of pulling the releases of projects, then deploying it, and doing measurements, benchmarking, and so on. So this is like split in multiple like packages. Yeah, maybe is it like Q2 tracking pipeline automation? Yeah, one of them. Let's see. Probably if you click on one of the actions, there's also probably the link back. Implement deploy step. Quick.
This one?
Yeah, it's Q2 pipeline automation, I think. Yeah. So it's
Okay.
like proposal, deploy, benchmark, report, benchmark investigation. So that's a kind of like the structure of the team. So what the team is working on right now. So they apparently closed all the deployment steps, and now they're working on benchmarking or something. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the main to-do is now that Kepler team gets in touch with the Green Reviews leads, maybe just initiate the conversation on Slack first, async, and then discuss, maybe even over a call, have a dedicated meeting for this, because I think it won't make sense to waste the effort either side if there are things that can be reused, if there are goals that can be done by either one, and that helps the majority. And I really liked what Leo said. Maybe Kepler can be the one creating the product side of things, which can be like a template product that can be template pipeline that can be used by any of the other projects within the CNCF ecosystem. That can be very useful as well.
Yeah, so I will start to check the Green Reviews pipeline maybe often. So because currently for Kepler validation, we just complete as POC works. We have bare metal, start from zero bare metal to set up Kubernetes, to set up Prometheus Kepler, run some performance test and measure Kepler's power consumption and do some compare with other tools to validate the accuracy for Kepler as our goal, maybe this year. So I think from this kind of pipeline, maybe we can easily create another things just make, because currently we use some or use something in maybe Ansible and Docker Compose, etc. But it will be quick if we can get focus or some CI expert focus to make the to remake it, re-implementation or say transform it from Docker Compose into Tecton. It will be not so difficult, yeah, in my point of view.
Yeah, sounds good. I also send a link to the design proposals. So the Green Reviews working group, they kind of, before they started working, they wrote like a large document about like how the trigger should work and how things should work and so on. So this could also be like a very good reference for you, Sam.
Yeah, I will take a look and do some hands-on and implementation. Maybe we can sync up offline and on next session.
Yeah. So right now the platform doesn't
At
work
the
like
same
end to
time,
end.
hands up.
Yeah, just real quick. So the platform does not work right now end to end. It's like in the middle, right? So it's like some parts are deployed to the platform already. So we are already measuring stuff, but I think the flow is not yet running, that we automatically fetch new releases from Falco. Falco is like our trial project. Yeah.
Hi, I'm just wondering, do you aware of this or the rating platform, the rating tools as I just put it in here from the Green Software Foundation? They also have like developing the tools to rate the energy efficiencies of the software as well. So this may related to the Green Code review and so on, and also the Kepler. So just maybe we should also take a look to this project as well.
Yeah, as shared for now. Maybe we should take a look later.
Yeah.
Yeah, this definitely is interesting and yeah, I have added that.
But are there any wait, dev main, because there's like these are just Markdown files, right?
Yeah, there's nothing
Is this already started or is this just a concept or?
I think it's really at the beginning of
okay.
the project. So that's why I think it's good to like to be aware of each other's. I mean, like the Green Code review this one. I have already mentioned to the GSF or Green Software Foundation member that okay, there's also the Green Code Reviews project running on the TAG ENV. So yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. Maybe they also joined one of our meetings like
Yeah.
half a year ago or something and talked about this project or about the concept. Not too sure. Not. I would need to read like probably they do not plan to use Kepler or something. I don't know like what their exact plan is. yeah, just deliverable, so no design concept.
They mentioned that they are going to use the carbon aware SDK for this goal. And in the carbon aware SDKs, they are planning to use the Keplers as their one that push the energy, calculate the energy efficiency, energy numbers to their CSI's formula, and
Ah.
then produce the carbon number.
That's good. Okay. Yeah, sounds like this is pretty much building a product to the Kepler, so it's like, again, very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And also, so I was a bit wrong in the beginning because we do have a new attendee in this call. So just circling back, if Xiu Sao, I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yes. Hi everyone. I'm from Red Hat, and so I joined this and reviewed this report recently. But many concepts are very new to me, so I'm trying very hard to learning and catch up with you guys, and hopefully I can contribute and help you as soon as possible. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for joining. So we have 6 minutes. Any other open discussion, questions?
No, nothing really. I think it's just awesome that there's like more points of contact between maintainers from Kepler and us from the tag, so we can just work together, for example, like on the CI stuff. I think we can save a lot of time and also have more people contributing, so potentially the quality in general is also better. And we're integrating it directly with the community, but also we have potentially at the end like a product for companies, so it's like we achieve even more. So that's, I think, awesome.
All right. So the last item is basically the next meeting that we have. So it will be month June. So it will be July.
Sam, did you updated the event so it's synced with one of the other ones?
Fine. Yeah, I'm just checking if it's on June 9th or it's
Oh, yeah, good question. And good point. If we regular run it bi-weekly, we can announce it locally with the blog as called for, and just a simple blog as update the status for this session, and also call for people to as volunteer for the Sustainable Week in China. Yeah, good catch.
so Leo, the next meeting time looks fine, right?
Yeah,
9th.
it's then always sync with the green reviews working group, right? Let me see, APAC. Yeah. You can also check
Yes.
the calendar one more time. Just let me see.
So it will be on 9th July.
So we will have next meeting on 9th July, right?
Yes. So I'm creating an issue for that. 9th July.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I'll just stop the recording. Thank you all for joining in. Let me stop the recording now.